Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So what an eventful day. Binance and CZ plead guilty. CZ is out and we now have a new CEO of Binance. But was this all planned by Blackrock to help Coinbase? And who's the next target? Well, let's talk about all these things and more. Let's do this. Welcome, guys. Tonight, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. First of all, if you zoom in, I removed the lines on purpose. You can see Bitcoin is at 36,175, which surprisingly is 400 points higher than this point yesterday because yesterday we had a little dip, okay? So this morning when I was streaming, it was like 36.5. So from this morning to now, even with all the FUD, Bitcoin is only down like 400 points. So what dip right now? Some of the alts did, but let me show you something. Let me bring my lines back. Well, what happened there? Just a few days ago, I said, hey, if Bitcoin falls, it's probably going to fall to right around here, about 36,000, bounce off of that. I have not moved that line. That line is exactly where it was days ago, weeks ago. So you can make the argument that Bitcoin was going to fall here anyways, according to plan. And Bitcoin didn't do anything out of the ordinary. It was going to fall, take a breather, and now it's reset and it's ready to go up. You could clearly make that argument by looking at this. It bounced exactly off the trend line that it did prior here, right? So that's the funny thing. So it makes you wonder, was this planned all along? Or does Bitcoin just, likes to move in patterns? Either way. All right, let's talk about this what happened today. In case you've been living under a rock, you don't know what happened. Well, today it came out that CZ, and Binance, they both pleaded guilty. I've been talking about this for several days now. It still makes no sense. The U.S. government had a fancy press conference. They had the Department of Justice. They had a CFTC. They had even Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, and I don't know. I don't think Gary was there, but maybe someone was representing SEC. I might have missed it. But you had everyone there doing this proud speech about how they took down Binance and CZ and how they're just so evil, this and that. They felt compelled to even do a press conference to make people feel like they done their job, and you gotta be proud of them, right? But I've been saying this. Binance is a foreign company. CZ is not even a U.S. citizen. Doesn't live in the U.S. Doesn't operate in the U.S. So, to me, it was like a save face kind of operation. Basically, they knew they couldn't drag this on forever. They wanted to save face and make everyone feel good like they're doing something. So, basically, they settled. That's how I take it, okay? And here's why. Because Binance basically continues to operate. Yes, they do have to pay $4.3 billion of fines, which is a large amount. But can Binance pay that? Easily, okay? It's not even going to cause a dent. In fact, they have so much assets, they don't even need to sell anything to pay 4-point-something billion, and they make billions per year in revenue. So first of all, for Binance, this is like, okay, we're going to pay, now go away. Okay, the second thing is CZ says, yes, okay, he put this all long tweet saying, yeah, I made my mistakes. I'm going to own up to it. We got this new guy, Richard Tang. He is going to be CEO, and I'm going to step away. Okay, that's pretty much it. So, according to the plea, CZ cannot be an officer or a CEO for 3 years. Okay, that's according to the plea. So, basically, he gets to go on vacation for 3 years, right? Even though he pled guilty, but this plea basically for him stepping down and paying this enormous amount of money was basically it. So, I mean, again, this is like kind of like, you know, save face operation for the U.S. government. You know, making everyone aware that they're doing their job and taking down one of the big bad wolves, right? One of the big bad players. But you know what? Who benefits from this? You know, if you think about it, who benefits from this, right? But before I get to that, it does seem like he may have been in America. He may have, I don't know, but someone posted this, Watcher Group posted it, that said that CZ posted a bond, $175 million bond. This is less than Sam Bankman-Fried's. I think his was like 500 million or 800 million. Even though it says so much, it's not really that much. But anyways, I don't know if he actually came back to the U.S. Maybe he did. Maybe he came, you know, showed up in court, made this plea, and you know, whatever, right? But, you know, he's not the only leader that was charged before. Some of you guys know of Arthur Hayes, okay? He was a co-founder of BitMEX, who was charged with the very same things. Just to show you, last time this happened, it was right before the bull run, just kind of like right now, okay? BitMEX was seized, basically. I know they're still operating, but the founders were on a run. The U.S. government was going after them, and everyone thought that they're all going to jail for a very, very long time. And guess what? It turned out Arthur Hayes was sentenced to 2 years of probation, and that was it. That was it. This is going to be the same thing with CZ. He's never going to see the inside of a jail cell. This was already planned in motion, again, to basically save face, okay? There's no way that a foreign company with a foreign citizen would basically plead guilty and still get jail time. There's just no way that's going to happen. It didn't happen to Arthur Hayes, who was much smaller, and it's not going to happen to CZ. But going back to what I was saying, first of all, right, we see this. This is right around the corner too. Right now, as we're approaching the halving event and as we're going to get the very first Bitcoin spot ETF, right? That's important. That's important. I think that's the bigger story here. And here's the reason, because now when you have CZ and Binance kind of out of the picture in the US, at least, not worldwide, Binance will survive just fine. But out of the US, who benefits the most? Okay? Who are the ones that are trying to come out with Bitcoin spot ETFs? Well, it just so happens they're all major shareholders in Coinbase. Vanguard, ARK, BlackRock, Fidelity, all these guys are the biggest owners of Coinbase. Is it a coincidence? And keep in mind, every Bitcoin spot ETF, their surveillance partner, the one that is supposed to be tracking their prices accurately, guess what? They're all Coinbase. Is it a coincidence? And if you look at, okay, the top exchanges out there according to spot volume, Binance, you remove them out of the picture from the US, and also the SEC goes after Kraken. Guess who that leaves left? Coinbase again. So, you know, it makes you wonder, was this really maybe planned all along ahead of time, right? To not only set the stage for Bitcoin spot ETFs now, okay, which is really good, obviously positive for the market, but also it was a way to make Coinbase even stronger and bigger. Tomorrow we'll see. Let's see if Coinbase stock rallies tomorrow, because they're kind of like the only player in the game left in America. Yes, you have a few left, like Gemini. And, you know, if you take Kraken out of the picture, I don't know who else you have left. Polionex, that's a horrible exchange. Crypto.com? I don't know. There's really no one left in the US if you think about it. So this really sets the stage for Coinbase to dominate, which, okay, you could argue is a good thing because they're in US based, right? But that has me thinking. That has me thinking. Who else can they go after next, right? What other property is very valuable that Coinbase controls? You know, now I'm starting to hear a lot of people talk about, well, is Tether the next target? If you think about it, it may be. I'm hearing rumors, okay, through a grapevine, that Coinbase will soon announce that they will stop supporting Tether. As soon as we hear that, okay, as soon as that gets released, watch out. You're going to see the U.S. government go after Tether, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you'll see. If that happens, this is all planned. Guess why? Because Coinbase is owner of Circle, who happens to produce USDC. So again, that would set the stage to make Coinbase benefit more and get stronger. And if Coinbase gets stronger, who gets stronger? All the big players that are entering into the space, like Vanguard and ARK and Blackrock and Fidelity. All these guys are set to make billions with their spot Bitcoin ETFs. Well, they're going to make more money as Coinbase gets stronger, right? So that may be the next day. I just heard that today. So if we hear Coinbase delisting Tether next, you know this is 100% planned. And it sets the stage for USDC to basically dominate, in the US at least. Okay. So just want to connect those dots. But what does this mean for crypto overall? Well, the good thing is Bitcoin and crypto is not controlled by the US. It's worldwide, right? A lot of people argue the US is basically driving all innovations out for people, companies. Still looks like that's happening. Seems like there are strings being pulled behind the scenes to make certain companies dominate. Okay? That unfortunately is happening. But as the good, like I said, good thing is Bitcoin and crypto is not controlled by the US. It's worldwide. And if this really sets the stage for spot Bitcoin ETF approvals, which is right around the corner, if this was the intention all along to make things happen in the US, well, that's also a good thing, because here's an example of gold when their spot ETF was approved. You could see gold was stagnant for 20 plus years until a spot ETF was approved. Then it went up to the moon. Now, Bitcoin, of course, has not been stagnant for 20 years, but that may be happening, okay? That could be happening right around the corner. Just think about it. This Tether fund that may be coming, and then we get spot Bitcoin ETF approvals, right? If those two things happen within the next month or so, you know, which very well may happen, you know, and then you plus all this into it, you know, there's just a lot of strings, a lot of moving parts, and it's all coming. And many people blame one person, one company for all this, and that's BlackRock. They want to dominate. When they get into something, they dominate, and they dominate hard. You know, the good thing is those of us that are in the space already, we're going to benefit because they're going to bring in trillions of dollars into the space, right? But long term, it kind of sucks to think about some of these big institutional players. They may want to control the market. It's going to be very hard, but it seems like certain things are being moved in the U.S. already, pushing us towards that, which unfortunately would really suck, right? But again, we will benefit because Bitcoin continues to get stronger, and the spot ETF approvals will only drive it even higher, right? Trillions upon trillions upon trillions are going to be entering the space, and then we're going to have the halving event, and then just watch. Like this blue line, 150, 200, 250, 300,000 by the end of 2025. That is coming. And when that happens, guess what? Alts will follow. Today we saw alts took a big dip, very big dip, right? But altcoin season will come back. It always does, led by Bitcoin. That's not going to change, right? So don't be discouraged. Like I said this morning and now, don't be discouraged. Nothing has really changed besides setting the stage up. If you could argue, this all sets the stage up for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval. You could argue maybe this could not have happened because, you know, the big players like BlackRock and Fidelity, they're afraid that Binance is only going to get stronger, so now they kind of want to remove them from the picture. But, you know, this really does clear the way, pave the way for spot Bitcoin ETF approvals. And as I'm talking, you can see Bitcoin is coming right back up to the basically same level as this morning. So I tweeted out DCA period, or end of story. Well, I forgot what I tweeted out a few hours ago. Really, that's all it is. Okay, you ignore the FUD and you DCA, and you continue to hodl, right? That's really it. When you're giving an opportunity, you could say this is a pre-Black Friday sale, right? Rather than spend your money on worthless things that you don't really need or things that you think you want but will depreciate over time, you could use that money and buy crypto that will appreciate over time, not depreciate. DCA is the way, right? That's really it. That's really it. I was a little degen today. I couldn't help myself. When Bitcoin fell to below 36,000, around 36,000, I'm like, I'm going to pick up some more. So I did so with my own portfolio, but also with, you know, with my leverage portfolio here, I decided to just load up a little bit more. So I picked up a little Matic, picked up a little ADA, a little Solana. I added a little more to the Avalanche one and a little bit more to the Bitcoin one, right? And I just did conservatively 10x, right? And small amounts, $100, $100, $100, right? Coming up quite nicely. AVAX is still in the red, but it was way in the red before. So, you know, that's all I did. I degened a little bit, but you could say I just DCA'd, right? Today is just a good day to DCA. That's all there is to it. Nothing changes. In fact, this just gets us closer to what we've been waiting for, a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, which may be right around the corner. That's it. That's it. All right, let's do some Q&A. Rather than drink my Blue Label, I'm going to drink some high-quality protein instead. All right. Let's see. Let me scroll up. Let's see if I missed anything. Space Vibe says it's all part of the game. And then Moonshine said he will not do jail time. Arthur Hayes did not. Yeah, basically he was charged the same thing. He's here in Seattle. I'm surprised CZ actually came to the U.S. I guess that was kind of probably the government forced it, like, you better come or we're not going to give you the deal. I don't know. Let's see. Robinhood, Coinbase World. Well, Robinhood, yeah, that's true. BlackRock owns Robinhood as well. So BlackRock kind of has their hands and fingers in everything. Everything in the U.S. Well, it's not just the U.S. It's worldwide, really. Tether is next. I do think Tether is going to be next. we will see. I think we're going to see soon that Department of Justice or someone or Treasury Department is going to cause some FUD around Tether, and then you go see Coinbase delist Tether due to the FUD. Then you'll know this is all according to plan. Kane asks, hey, my friend, should I be worried I have 80K on Kraken? Well, if you feel uncomfortable, then remove it from Kraken. It's just really that simple. I don't think it'll go down, like close out and rug you, if that's what you're asking. I don't think that's going to happen. But, hey, you can never be too careful these days, right? Put it in your wallet. Withdraw it. Put it into your own wallet. Moonshine says, at some point I heard Coinbase was trying to start their own stablecoin. Any truth that? No, they don't need to. They don't need to. They have USDC. They have a partnership, and then later, it was like, I think it was earlier this year, they actually bought a huge ownership of Circle. So USDC is their stablecoin. They don't need to come out with another one. SAP. Appreciate that. Green label for green day. I've never tried. I never tried green label before. Darwin says, always self-custody. That is correct. If you can store things, I know it's scary, especially if you have large amounts. If you're like storing on your phone or a ledger, wherever you may be storing it, it may be scary. But when it comes to crypto, you never know, right? Look at that coincidence, right? BitMEX, which was the biggest futures exchange, perpetual, exchange back in the day, they did a lot of shady shit too. A lot of shady stuff. They were kind of like FTX before FTX, where they, you could see so many, like you can measure it with on-chain metrics. Like you could see how they kind of manipulated the market before. So they went after the whole crew, all 4 founders, and they escaped. And then somehow, they just all did no jail time. And Arthur Hayes is huge. People still follow him on Twitter. He's involved with a lot of stuff. And, people just forgot about it. That's the thing. CZ can continue to be a powerhouse on Twitter and still tweet. I don't think he will because he's smarter than that. But still. But the funny thing is that came right before the bull run. Like, literally, like, weeks before the bull run started in 2021. They got rid of who they wanted, and then the bull run started. So you can make the argument that's what they're doing now. They're getting rid of Binance, causing FUD around Binance, getting people out to get ready for a bull run because SPOT ETF is about to get approved. Is it okay to orange pill during Thanksgiving? Always. You should always try to orange pill your family if you can. Do you believe we can go down more from this point? Anything could happen. Okay, if we go dump, we may dump more. But, I don't know. I showed you guys at the beginning. This is moving according to plan. Like, really, we didn't dump anymore. If Bitcoin dropped below to like 35.1, which I would have been surprised, but whatever. If it did, or like it really dumped back down to like 30,000, if it dropped to like 30,000, I'm like, okay, maybe we have a serious dump here. We didn't. We didn't. we actually just dumped exactly to where it should have gone, which is the bottom of this trend line. And we utilize it as support, just like we utilize it here, right? You can see that wick and then just bounce right off. You can see that wick and we just bounce right off. It'll be funny because earlier today we pumped up to about 37,000 sometime here. It would be real funny tomorrow we just bounce right up to 37,000 again, like nothing happened. It would not surprise me. I'm really curious to see Coinbase stock. Coinbase stock is getting near its all-time high again, or yearly high at 105. I'm wondering tomorrow Coinbase stock is going to skyrocket to the moon. It makes me wonder what's going to happen tomorrow with Coinbase. Tampa Tech, big super chat. We're all George, curious George. Can you help me with why XM doesn't move much? Bright future. I'm holding my gala bag, but Stellar to the moon someday. I don't know why you like Stellar, man. I can't tell you good things because I've never supported Stellar ever. Maybe for 5 minutes, and then I got off that bandwagon. I don't know what Stellar's doing. Zero. Jeb McCaleb's only mission in life was to try to screw XRP. And that's why he created Stellar. He tried to, like, basically do all the moves to try to harm Ripple. And none of it worked. They tried to partner up with IBM, and that didn't work. They tried to get in stable coins. That didn't work. They tried to get into making themselves into a L1. I don't think that worked. I don't hear anything about Stellar, my man. I'd much rather buy XRP than Stellar. My DGen DCA plays working out so far. I'm not saying this is a genius play. We may go back down again, but, you know, making a little bit of recovery with some of my favorites like Matic, ADA, Solana, Avalanche, and BTC, obviously, right? I mean, we're literally, for Bitcoin at least, we're literally at the same point as this morning, before everything broke out. Like, you could argue Bitcoin didn't get any weaker at all. Thoughts on Hedera? They're okay. They're okay. I did a little more research into them. They seem to be open source. They have smart contracts. They got dApps on board, like Karate Combat is on them. They have a lot of, you know, big companies in their console. So I think they're doing okay. Why do you think they're making CZ step away for 3 years and not forever? Isn't that kind of strange? No, it's not, because that's probably what CZ would agree to. That's it. It'll be funny after 3 years, CZ just comes back to Binance. I don't think he would. Like, maybe as advisory, right? I don't think he's going to associate himself being a leader at Binance, but like 3 years, he could start another exchange. He could do whatever he wants. It's not like a lifetime ban on him being a CEO of another company or another exchange. So, again, today, what happened today was what I call saving face for the U.S. government. You had 3 or 4 agencies supposedly working together to bring down, you know, the biggest, baddest exchange. They did no such thing. Binance is continuing forward. They're not even based in the U.S. They did no such thing to stop anything, really. Binance could pay that $4 billion like it's chump change. CZ steps down for 3 years. Basically, He probably wanted this. He probably was like, enough. Why do I deal with this? Why don't I just go take vacation for three years and then come back and do whatever the hell I want? It's pretty much that's what happened today. And maybe the whales scared a lot of people into panic selling. And they picked up some more, right? So maybe that happened too. But I know most of you guys didn't fall for it. You guys been with me for years. You've been DCAing for years. You've been DCAing through the worst times in 2022. Maybe you've been around since 2018, 2019. Today was not a drop. Today was a scratch. I don't know, a little blip. When will Solana flip XRP? Yeah, not tomorrow. But maybe soon. Is Trust Wallet safe? I do use Trust Wallet, so I think they're safe. I've been using them for a long time. DBL, I'm glad. I'm glad I helped you keep your head straight. That's what I do. Keep people motivated, informed, and focused on the future without falling for the FUD. Darwin said, yeah, I expected much worse after today's news. I mean, this morning, BNB was still pumping and Bitcoin was strong as ever. So I'm like, man, that shows you how strong Bitcoin is, right? Right now, yes, BNB did go down because of the FUD, but Bitcoin is like right back to where it was. Was the ETF rejected or delayed? Neither. I think it's going to accelerate it. Is this going to be one of the craziest bull run you ever experienced? Well, I don't know. I'm hoping so, Rich. If it is, and 2025 is as good as I think it's going to be, then I may just call it quits and retire for good. And just do Sunday walk videos. Am I bullish on a Cosmos ecosystem? Yes, but not on any of the ones that you named. I'm bullish on Cosmos itself, Injective also. I don't know what XLR or NTLRN is. Do you see Pepe in the top 20 at the bull run peak? No. No. Pepe's not going to be in the top 20. I mean, I guess if you look at Sheeb, it happened to Sheeb, but I just don't see Pepe doing that. This time around, we got way too many contenders, way too many L1s that are just too damn good. And for Pepe to outperform them, that's going to be a miracle. Reap. George, everyone keeps saying this could be the last bull run as we know it. What are your thoughts on future bull runs? I don't think this is going to be the last bull run. The 4-year cycle maybe gets disrupted because of institutions. You know, just look at this list right here. You know, when you got Vanguard, ARK is not that big, but, you know, when you got Vanguard, Blackrock, Fidelity, those three, you know, you're talking about like $20 trillion worth of assets they hold, okay? Just those three companies, Vanguard, Blackrock, Fidelity. And they have their fingers in everything, right? And if they get involved and they bring so much more institutions involved, right, are they really going to sell like retail investors, you know, at peak of 2025. Maybe they don't. And if they don't sell, then we're not going to have the same kind of dip. And we may just have a continuous cycle moving forward, right? So yeah, it might disrupt future 4-year cycles, but we will always have a halving event every 4 years. Retro Bill, appreciate that. It was awesome hearing a shout out Tampa Tech on air after watching all these years. The most disappointing part was when Gala options changed after they start lawsuits. Gala opinion changed? Well, that's just my opinion. Your opinion doesn't have to change. If you like Gala, you could continue to stack Gala. But for me, I have to say, I don't know. I don't know. Until they had no lawsuits, seems kind of fishy. You know, kind of suspicious, iffy. So they should just, for the betterment of the company, they should just end those lawsuits. Got almost 4,900 people in here. I know you guys all heard of what happened today, okay? But for me, it seems like it's just a safe face operation. And really, who does this benefit? Well, it benefits the owners of Coinbase, who happens to be the ones issuing spot Bitcoin ETFs. So you think about it. But I do think this does help. This definitely helps set the stage for an approval. Okay. But if it's really true, then it's bad to think that BlackRock and these guys could really pull the strings and make something like this happen, right? The next thing to look out for is if there's more Tether FUD. If there's more Tether FUD, okay, and Coinbase says they're delisting Tether, then you know 100% is according to plan, because then that sets the stage for USDC to dominate in the US. And then it's going to start catching up to USDT again, right? Keep in mind, Coinbase are owners of USDC. Which small cap deck should we pay attention to? Dex? I don't know. I don't keep track of small cap dexes. Milan, big super chat, $50. Thanks for your help and what you do for the people. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I try to do my best. Did you hear about that massive Hyundai Kia recall? No, I did not. I've never really liked Hyundais and Kias. Besides the Telluride and Palisade, I like them. But everything else they come out with, I'm not a big fan. Pump by tomorrow till weekend, 100%. Load your bags now, according to Lemuel. Louder says, hey G, just got my ticket for December meetup. Need to discuss 430 gated prices. Man, if you can find a cheap 430 gated, then you found a needle in the haystack, because that doesn't happen. You can't get it. But I'll see you there, my friend. Viking Crypto Winter, they have nothing on Heart. You sure about that? You sure about that? Can you invite CZ for an interview? I'm pretty sure that he's not going to want to do an interview, but I did reach out to the new CEO. I reached out to the new CEO, asking for an interview. Where is it? Richard Tang. If he responds, then sure. Love to talk to him. Bitcoin just continues to come back. Tomorrow could be right back to 37,000 again. You don't speak fluent Chinese? No. No, I could speak a little bit, but not fluent. Let's see. Doing better. Avalanche is still a little weak, but I only have a 5x. I changed my Avalanche to 5x. Matic, ADA, Solana, all doing pretty well. Bitcoin doing pretty well too, but Bitcoin I have a 20x, that's why. What will it take for Solana to take over XRP? Nothing really. They just need to continue to do their thing. Make sure their network doesn't crash. Continue to onboard new promising games and dApps. That's all they need to do right now. They're not that far off from XRP and from BNB at this point. If they could get back to 60s, I mean, they're going to flip them. Would you say it's too late to load up on alts? Of course not. Of course not. These alts are still like 60, 70, 80% off from their previous high. So no, of course not. How much return can you realistically expect if you put 5K into Sheep? Sheep is so far off from their high. What is their previous high? I mean, look at that. Like, that's a 10x. They have to go up 10x. So realistically, your 5x could turn into 50x. But no guarantees, especially with memes. I think Sheep can come back to its previous high for sure, and maybe even break it. But there are a lot of other memes that are competing against it now. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Bitcoin continues to rally upwards as if nothing happened. We're moving forward. This may set the stage for early ETF approval. Now that Binance is out of the way, now that CZ is out of the way, and Coinbase is going to dominate, you may get that approval sooner than expected. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, pre-Thanksgiving, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time as usual, and then we will see where the market is tomorrow. Last question, Citizen Crypto. I'm super pissed at all the BS and disrupt. Charging people for breaking if laws. Government's trying to push a CBDC on us. I don't think it's pushing the CBDC on us. I think they're just getting rid of competition and scratching the backs of the people that kind of control things, that may be the biggest campaign donors. It does definitely set the stage to make Coinbase a hell of a lot stronger. All right, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.